Okay, welcome back to Board Mangging for the Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective series, in which we are literally playing through Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective by myself, with no assistance and no friendships. So last time we handled case number 3, which was the something mistress. It was the mystified murderess. That's what it was. And that case was bullshit. Okay? Let me tell you that right now. It was bullshit. And a lot of people apparently agree with me because it's, I guess, the worst case in the game. So I was not alone in thinking that. And so it's been a while since I did that, but we're back now for case number 4. The Lionized Lions. I don't know what lionized means. We're going to find out. This happens on the 17th of August, 1888. Let's get into it. The first Morning Post brings us the following note. 17th of August, 1888. Dear friends, check today's Times. I think you will find something of interest. Confer with you later. Holmes. Well then, says Wiggins, let's head right away to the nearest newspaper stand. I'm anxious to find out what Mr. Holmes finds so odd in today's edition. We leave all together in the heat of the British summer. Oh, that's it. That's how it is. All right. Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious where we're gonna go first. I just have to find out where the Times. Well, no, we need to find out the nearest newspaper stand. Which shouldn't be too difficult. Newspapers. Well, we don't want to go to the actual, place. Right? We just want to get the news. They probably could have just given that to me. I mean, I guess we could just go to the Times, but I don't know if that's a good idea. Let me check the back of something. What am I checking the back of? The manual? Place where it says all, the good spots to check. Maybe the newspaper stand is in here. No, it's not. Okay, wow. Why is this more complicated than it needs to be? I should be able to just go to newspaper stand. There's a whole section for newspapers, but they all list, different newspapers. The Standard, the Star, the Times, the Daily Chronicle, the Daily Gazette, so on and so forth. So I would like to just buy a newspaper. Because I feel if I go to the Times, I'm going to reveal information that I should not reveal. But that's literally it. It just goes off. So without any other inclination, I'm gonna go to the Times. All right, that's our first destination because I have no idea. You've brought this on yourself, Sherlock Holmes. So we are going to 30 EC. Damn it, Holmes. Damn it, Holmes. 30 EC. Mr. Ellis's secretary tells us he has not yet returned from his assignment in Europe. Okay, that's... No, see, no. Okay, see, we're scratching that one out. That one never happened, because that's bullshit. That's cheap. Any destination that I go to right now that does not give me a newspaper just does not count. Because clearly, we all know where I'm supposed to go. Or I guess we have no idea where to go, but that's the problem. The newspaper. Where would you buy a newspaper? Buy it at a newspaper stand. Maybe that's just listed somewhere. Newspaper stand. Nope, that's not anything. That's not a thing. Why am I stumped already? God damn it. It's going to be really annoying once I figure it out. More annoying than it is right now. I'm just gonna go to Holmes and beat the answer out of him. Like, what the hell? I don't know. I mean, I could just go down the list of newspapers and maybe one of them will sell me a newspaper. But why would the Evening News Standard sell me a Times? I don't know. I don't know. There's no newspaper stand listed anywhere in this book. Am I really this dumb? Like, if I just been away from this game for so long, I forgot how to think? Like, anywhere. You should be able to buy a newspaper anywhere. Like, that should just be in the book. Like, that should have been on the next page. That all just says is nearest newspaper stand, which is not anything of anywhere, anything. What the hell? Okay, we're at, hold on. No, we're 42 Northwest. I'm pretty sure is where we are, because we're always just hanging out at Holmes' house, I believe. So, 42 in this region is right here. This is 221B Baker Street. So the nearest newspaper stand would be probably down the freaking street somewhere. I don't know. One of these hotels, maybe? Am I just going to go to one of these hotels? Is that what we're going to do? That... Damn you, Holmes! See, it sucks when you don't have anybody to either bounce ideas off of or to share your pain. So, I'm going to go to this hotel. If it's not there, then we're just going to erase it. So, 30 Northwest is the Claridge Hotel. It's not in the book, okay. 36 Northwest. Oh, that wasn't in the book either. I'm going to go march up to Holmes. Maybe he knows. We're going to go to 42 Northwest, which I think is actually where we are right now, but... Oh, okay. No, this is good. Okay, this is good. This will work. Okay, as we arrive at the residence of Mr. Holmes and of Dr. Watson, we're greeted by Mrs. Hudson, who seems very relaxed. Good day, Mrs. Hudson. Is Mr. Holmes here today? Good day, young folks. Dr. Watson and he left early this morning. For the moment, it's one of the quietest days I've had since last month. I'd rather them be out than having to suffer through Mr. Holmes' mood swings. Did he tell you where he was going, or did he leave you a message before he left? He simply told me to give you today's Times. Apparently there's something important inside. We quickly leaf through the copy given to us by Mrs. Hudson. One of the articles has been circled with a red pencil. Lions killed at Hyde Park. The name of O'Neill in the article on page 3 is also circled in red. Okay, I mean, I assume that's where we were supposed to go. I have no idea. But alright, so we have the first thing then. The first whatever. Lions killed at Hyde Park. and then O'Neill. I wish I could have... I wish we could read the paper to understand, you know, the context of just O'Neill. But I feel like this isn't where we get the full info about the newspaper. Like, I feel like we just got nothing. Like, that wasn't... Like, we're supposed to have gotten the paper from somewhere else. And then if we're stumped, we go to Holmes, and that's, like, the clue is O'Neill being circled. But we're supposed to get the paper from somewhere else so we can read the full article. But I have no idea where. I have no idea where you get the paper. This is like the worst setup so far, I think. Like, this is terrible. Why wouldn't they just give you the goddamn paper? Why is it a mystery to go to the nearest newspaper stand? Because now I feel like erasing this 42 Northwest, because that doesn't do anything for us. Because I didn't want to go to Holmes to get a clue. I wanted to go to Holmes to read the freaking paper. Oh, I'm so stupid, aren't I? Now I just realized it, why I'm so stupid. People have been yelling at the camera for the last 5 minutes. And this is because I haven't played this game in a while. I've completely forgot. I thought I could just sit down and jump right into it. I didn't process how this game operated. I was a simpleton. I was a simpleton. Well, I still am, but Jesus Christ, man. The papers are in the freaking box, man. Whew. What's the date? Okay. That's a low point even for me, man. Alright. I mean, I guess I'll keep the 42 Northwest in here because it's a starting point. So here we go. Lions murdered in Hyde Park. I probably would have gravitated to this anyways because the name of the thing is the Lionized Lions, but whatever. 2 lions, both male, were found shot to death in Hyde Park at the early hours of this morning. Neither the constable who discovered the macabre sight nor the inspectors of Scotland Yard admit to any clue as to the perpetrator or motive for this bizarre affair. Okay. 2 male lions. Shot. That's important, being shot. They weren't stabbed or poisoned or anything like that. They were definitely shot. Early hours this morning. Okay, that's where they were. Okay. Alright, and then apparently there's also a name O'Neill somewhere that I am supposed to look at. O'Neill. Hold on, there's another article here. To the editor of the Times, Sir, surely the time has come to grant home rule to Ireland, to let the Irish people out from under the heavy paw of the British lion. After decades of violence, we should realize that continued resistance to an idea whose time has come can only result in more violence. Boycotts and assassinations will not cease through an endless progression of acts of coercion, land, or our rears. We can only hope that the lion will soon release its prey, a prey which would certainly prove more valuable if not completely devoured. I am, sir, your obedient servant, Durkin Topper, 29 Brook Street, Grosvenor Square. Okay, that's multiple mentions of the word lion in reference to not good things. So, we're going to write down this asshole's name. He's suspect number 1. Okay. We're still looking for the name O'Neill somewhere, though. I just happened to see lion mentioned. I was like, And then there's another article then here about this whole home rule thing. So, okay, we're going into some Irish, British political nonsense things. Home rule would lead to separation. Okay, interesting stuff. Let's find this name O'Neill, though. Here. Roy Slade's Wild African Extravaganza opening tonight. Mr. Slade's celebrated spectacle returns from Wilhelmshaven with horses, elephants, lions, clowns, and performers of all description. O'Neill, the great lion tamer at each performance. Mr. O'Neill will give his marvelous exhibition with 8 full-grown lions, the most daring performance ever witnessed, daily at 3 and 8 at Hengler's Circus. Okay, so O'Neill is a possible explanation as to where these lions came from. But this Durkin guy could be responsible for perhaps killing them? I think we need to go to Hyde Park first and foremost. I think that's got to happen no matter what. So I will look as to where Hyde Park is. That's probably in our directory. Because examining the crime scene is always like, it's number one. Hyde Park, 95 Northwest. Let's go. Okay. We come into the south entrance of Hyde Park near the lake. We ask for directions from a gardener busy moving a patch of grass. The park's warden's shed? You'll find it on the other side of the lake. At this time, he should still be there, but hurry. He'll no doubt start his round around the park soon. We hurriedly head to the place indicated and find the warden as he is closing his shed. Gentlemen, I can tell you that it shocked me, those 2 dead lions early this morning. I've immediately alerted Scotland Yard. 5 or 6 agents came, witnessed the facts, and took the bodies of the 2 beasts, as well as the cart and the horses. Can you lead us to the exact spot where you found them? Of course, follow me. I'll lead you there, but we'll have to leave you alone to finish my rounds. We walk around at the warden's side, accompanying him in his round. After a dozen minutes of walking, he leaves us on the spot of his macabre discovery. There, it's about 100 yards from the path. Follow the tracks of the cart in the grass. You'll find it easily. The cart tracks, clearly visible in the middle of the otherwise spotless grass, aren't the only tracks we notice. In the moist earth, we clearly distinguish among the wheel tracks the traces of bare feet. As we come closer to what we guess to be the crime scene, the grass is trampled all over, and in places we can smell small dark brown spots. We can see small dark brown spots that leave nothing to the imagination on both sides of the wheel track. Wiggins can't help but quip. The gardener has his work cut out to give this place its typical English charm again. Alright, there's really... Okay, hold on. 5 or 6 agents came, witnessed the facts, and took the bodies of the 2 beasts, as well as the cart and the horses. Okay, so there was no cart or horses mentioned in the actual article. The article was supremely short. But a cart and a horse... I'm okay. Among the wheel tracks, the traces of bare feet. Grass is trampled all over, and in places we can see small, dark brown spots that leave nothing to the imagination on both sides of the wheel tracks. Small, dark brown spots that leave nothing to the imagination. I mean, there's things in my imagination. I mean, I think we're going under the circus assumption right now as to where they came from. Because of this whole O'Neill guy. So, we'll write down there was horses and carts, bare feet, which may be a clue later on, and small dark brown spots, which I actually have no idea what that means. Is it poop? Is it poop? Is that poop? That can't be poop. Is that just bare earth? I don't know. Okay, so we're going to go pay a visit then to Hengler's Circus. See if we can't talk to this O'Neill guy. Hengler's Circus, 47 WC. $47 somewhere. Where the hell is it? Okay. Roy Slade removes his large Stetson hat from his head and wipes his sweaty brow with a red bandana from his hip pocket. What can I do for you, hombres? Okay. We're investigating the murder last night of 2 lions in Hyde Park. That sure is something, I tell you. I've traveled the world over, from the Picos to the Pampas, the Sierra to the Sahara, and never would I have thought that I'd have 2 of my lions murdered in the capital of the civilized world. Never can tell, can you, pilgrims? So they were your lions. Well, they were with the show. A lot of the acts are independents. They join up with my show for a while, then go their own way. Others have been with me for years. The lions were owned by Barry O'Neill. He joined up with me about 6 months ago in Marseille. That's in France, you know. Mr. O'Neill around? We'd like to talk with him. He's in the hospital across the river, St. Thomas, I think. While we were unloading the ship yesterday, one of the Crasses is what it says, broke loose and landed on Barry. Broke both his legs. He'll be laid up for a while. Poor Barry. Poor me. Barry's act was one of the main draws of the show. He could sure handle those cats. He caught them himself in Africa. He was bringing the lions to the continent when we met him in Marseille, and I talked him into joining the show. So that was the first time you met O'Neill? Oh no, first time we met was back in '84 on my first trip to Africa, in a bar in Zanzibar. Ah, Zanzibar. Who was it who said Zanzibar is a cesspool of wickedness, oriental in its appearance, Mohammedan in its religion, Arabian in its morals? I don't know. Don Ho said that. Whoever said it was right. Great place, loved it. Well, anyway, Barry was bringing ivory out of Vukonago, trying to build up a nest egg to put together an expedition to capture live animals. That was why I was in Africa, to get animals. I had been running a Wild West show, but there were too many other Wild West shows in the States, so I came up with the idea of an African show. So I saw Barry from time to time in my travels around Africa. Who else helps him with the lions? No one is able to get near those lions except Barry. They'll take your head off. He has a boy, Mabudo, who helps him, but he's afraid of those lions. Barry's wife travels with him and is part of the act. She never gets in the cage, though, just walks around outside looking pretty, and that she does quite well. Where are they now? Mary, his wife, is staying with Barry's parents here in London. I haven't seen Mabudo today. Don't know where you can find that little devil. Well, I gotta get back to work. Lots to be done before opening tonight. Let me know if you find out anything. Just one more question, Mr. Slade. Do you know where the lions are now? No, I have no idea. Okay, there was a lot of shit in there. That was a very lengthy section for Sherlock Holmes. Now, there was, I think that was like the second case where I overlooked a key name because I thought it was unimportant, and it turned out to be completely crucial. So I'm wondering how many names here are crucial. Locations tend to not be, I don't think. I mean, Africa was mentioned, Zanzibar, Vukonago, or I think that's Vukongo, I don't know. Vukonago. Vukonango, I don't know. But the names, let's keep track of the names here. So Barry O'Neill, is the only one. Apparently the lions are aggressive, according to this guy, Roy Slade or something. Slade Wilson, I don't know. They're aggressive to everyone but Barry. So that's important. Mabudo, boy assistant, afraid of lions, and then his wife. Looks pretty. Okay. So I think our next... Okay, we have multiple stops we could go. We're probably going to go to both of them. Even though I think Holmes himself would already know what to do. Like, the issue that I'm trying to think of right now is motive. Like, who would want to kill a couple of lions? That's why I'm drawn more towards this whole Ireland thing. But that could be just a gigantic political red herring. But I think we have to talk to Barry. Although, Barry could just say... If Barry did break his legs, and why would, you know, Slade Wilson... lie about that, you know. It doesn't really like, it seems to imply that he witnessed that. If he witnessed this thing actually crash into Barry's legs, I don't know of what use he could really be. I mean, we'll still probably visit him, but I think I'm more interested in his wife, because his wife is more of an unknown right now. Like, she's not even, like, hanging out at the hospital with him. She's just at his parents' house. That's fishy, man. Because, like, he just broke both of his legs yesterday. And she's not even, like, hanging, like, okay. Fishy, fishy shit. So we're going to look up the O'Neill household. And see what we can find out. Okay, so we have a Carol O'Neill and a Philip O'Neill. I don't know who's which, and Carol is not spelt like... Anyways, I think we're going to try, I guess, Philip O'Neill. So we'll go to 9WC. I have no way of knowing which of these O'Neills is correct. 9WC. Oh, you have the wrong O'Neill. I'm related, but I haven't seen any of that crazy family since Graham O'Neill's wake back in '74. Fucking A. That's 5 points. Okay, then the other one. 14 Northwest. Okay. Mary O'Neill sees us into the sitting room of her in-law's home. It is easy to see that she would be an asset to her husband's act, even if she didn't enter the cage. She is a beautiful woman in her late 20s, full-figured, fair of skin with flowing auburn hair. Yeah, attractive women always seem to be trouble. That's what I've learned. Her mother-in-law is with her, and her 60-odd years have not faded her natural beauty. "How can I help you?" asked Mary. Jeez, man, there are some typos in this book. After we introduce ourselves. "We were wondering if you could tell us anything about the death of your husband's lions." "No, I can't. Isn't it the strangest thing? I've traveled all over the world with Barry in the 2 years since we've been married, and to think that this would happen in London, it makes no sense to me. Well, all I can say is that I hope this will change Barry's plans, and you'll stay in London where you belong," says the older Mrs. O'Neill. "No life for a civilized man traipsing around all those heathen countries. 10 years is long enough. Time he settled down like his father and raised a family. I'm sure Carol could get him a job at Rudge's. I'd like to have one of my sons nearby." "Oh, Mom, I can just see Barry in a regular job living in a flat with Mabudo as our butler. He wouldn't last a week. That savage! That godless little man! What people must think!" "Well, neither of your sons has ever cared much for what people think. Ever since Barry saved him from these lions and nursed him back to life, Mabudo's been at Barry's side. Face it, Mom, your sons were born with wanderlust in their blood, but you know they love you. Yes, I know. They're wild, but good at heart. Just a little of the Irish devil in them, that's all. Like their father when he was young." "I'm sorry, was it that you want to know?" "Well, what are your plans now?" "I'm not sure. We were to go with Slade to Paris in 3 weeks, but with the lions dead and Barry laid up in the hospital, I don't know what we'll do. Barry was in no shape to talk about it yesterday. Now with the lions dead, I just don't know. I'll talk to Barry about it today when I see him. In fact, I should be going there now, if you'll excuse me. Of course, we hope everything works out. Thank you. Are you coming, Mom? Yes, dear. Okay. Ireland is getting real popular around these pages. And I think the key thing that I drew from this, his wife seems on the level, I would say. She's traveled all over the world with them. They've been married 2 years. She seems okay with his kind of wanderlust. It's his mom that seems like a douche nozzle, personally. She's hating on Short Round, which isn't good. Godless little man. And then, what was the other? They got some of the Irish devil in them. And she would like to have one of her sons nearby. No life for a civilized man traipsing around all those heathen countries. So she really disapproves of what her son's doing. And so maybe, here's the theory up on the wall. She's thinking she kills off some of his lions. Maybe that'll just stop him in his tracks. And he'll just decide to settle down in London right here, cut off everything, and just boom, there he lives. So she hires somebody to kill the lions who may be related to the whole Ireland pride thing. Perhaps Mr. Durkin Topper. I think we got to pay this guy a visit. I think it has to happen. It's got to happen. So I'm going to look up this guy. I'm going to see if he's an actual resident or not. Durkin Topper, 29 Northwest. We're going to bust in there. Guns blazing. It's going to be like shoot 'em up. We're going to shoot 'em up. 29 Northwest. Here we go. Durkin Topper is a plump little man who is entirely hidden behind his desk. As we enter the study, he is writing furiously. A stack of envelopes ready to be posted sits on the front edge of the desk. Mr. Topper, we were curious about the coincidence of your letter to the editor and the murder of 2 lions in Hyde Park. I assure you, he says in a small squeak of a voice, that while the symbology of the act does not escape me, I abhor any sort of violence and am quite capable of making my point by other means. I am a firm believer that the pen is mightier than the sword. Well, that's another 5 points. Okay, so maybe not Durkin Topper being involved, but we still have his mother as a prime suspect. So I think it's time we paid a visit to Barry himself and see if he's got any info that could be of use to us. I don't remember what hospital he was at. St. Thomas. Okay. So we're going to see if Barry can provide us any info on what's going on. So St. Thomas's is at 29 SE. Okay. We're walking down the long whitewashed corridor of St. Thomas's looking for room 214. Our request for help from one of the white-clad nurses evokes an expression of disgust. You will find Mr. O'Neill in the first room around the corner. Him and that savage of his. It's a disgrace. Some night he'll go on a rampage and kill us all! With that outburst over, she throws a quick glance over her shoulder and hurries down the hall. Man, everybody's hating on Short Round. The first door turns out to be 214, and our knock gains us entrance. In the bed lies a man with both legs in casts and hanging in traction. O'Neill pushes himself up so he can see us over his casts. His small eyes look us over for a moment. He then turns his head towards an alcove to his right and says something that sounds like, Mabudo Madawa Kasaki Donwa. This incantation brings forth a small black man, barefooted and shirtless. Barefooted. Brown spots. His thick black curly hair is topped with a headdress of bones and feathers. He fixes his large eyes upon us as his hand reaches for a wooden tube tucked into his belt, his body ready to spring. Mr. O'Neill, could we talk to you for a moment about your lions? We're investigating their murder. Mabudo Sakawamo. His command relaxes the black man, and he squats next to O'Neill's bed, but his eyes never leave us. You're from the police? No, but we would like to ask you a few questions. Those were your lions that were murdered, were they not? So I've been told, but as you can see, I'm in no shape to go look at them. I don't know anything about it. I don't even know where they are. Do you know why anyone would want to murder your lions? Look, I've told you, I don't know anything. Now, if you're not from the police, get out and leave me alone. Mabudo Sonawa! Oh, he's casting spells at us. Well, if you don't wish our help, Mr. O'Neill, we'll just wish you a good day, says Wiggins as we back out the door. Okay, so this Mabudo, man, he got real shifty real fast. I was expecting him to be like short round, but he's just a godless heathen. Okay, let's scan over the newspaper again. But we'll probably check out maybe the criminologist. If nothing else. Some golfing shit. No, taxidermist. That's a red herring. There's a lot about this whole Irish home rule thing, and I feel like that's something, but like that Dirk and Topper shit, that was really obvious as a red herring. I should have picked up on that. There's no way that's related. No. Recent excavations in Egypt. Near Lethotep. What? Oh no, Karnak. Okay. Tennis, board and residences. Hyde Park District preferred. Hold on. Board and residence with a family required by a lady. Hyde Park District preferred. Reply by letter only to JVW 22 Vincent Street, Southwest. That's kind of a stretch. Accident on docks. Barry O'Neill, lion tamer for Roy Slade's Wild African Extravaganza, was injured yesterday as the show was being unloaded at the London docks. It is unfortunate that the spectacle, which will beat Hengler's Circus, will be opening tonight without one of its top-billed acts. Mr. Slade assured us, however, that the show will be buzzing with excitement, as always. Okay, that's nothing. More stuff about home rule with Ireland. I mean, Mabudo is kind of our prime suspect because it made a mention of him being barefoot. But it's difficult to, how do we pin anything on him? So I think we have to go to the criminologist. Yeah. So we're going to go to 22 Southwest. Just because we were kind of late to the crime scene. As we are making our way toward the criminology lab, we see H.R. Murray coming down the hall towards us. Wiggins is flabbergasted, this being the first time we have ever seen Murray outside his lab. Sir, he cries out, what are you doing? Aren't you supposed to be in the lab? Murray is amused by Wiggins' near panic. With a condescending raise of his bushy eyebrows, he says, contrary to rumor, I have a residence other than this laboratory. Seeing as there's no work for me today, I was going there for a well-deserved rest. Wiggins doesn't quite know what to say, but what about mysterious death, Stephen Dirk? Wiggins tries to keep up with the spry Murray as he heads toward the exit. 896? Dirk? Murray pauses. No real evidence for that one, just some clothes. No personal effects, clothing undamaged, traces of sea salt indicating he may have once been a sailor. That's about it. Wiggins stops and scratches his head while Murray waves goodbye and heads out the door. So yeah, that's probably pretty confusing. But I did read this article. I didn't read it to you. I just read it to myself about a mysterious death. There was a guy found dead in like the middle of a street, and he was apparently a sailor. And the body had been robbed. There were no wounds on the body, and it's supposed that an overdose of some drug had been administered. So I assume if I had followed up on that and then gone here, but why would I be going to the criminologist for that and not about, you know, the main freaking case, which is the Lions? So I don't know. I guess Scotland Yard, although I hate to go there. 13 SW, as we kind of just, you know, do shit. Oh no, what do you people want? Shouts Lestrade as we enter his office. I thought I was going to have a nice quiet day. There's nothing of importance going on. What's Holmes having you work on now? Well, we're not really sure. He wanted us to check out today's Times and see what we could find. We've picked out a few things we'd like to check out with you. The first article is... Wait. God knows that Holmes has been of help to me in the past, and I don't mind him helping him on a case now and then, but I don't have time to play these games. Please, Inspector, you know that Holmes wouldn't waste our time. He does have his own way of doing things, but they pay off. You said yourself you didn't have much to do today, so please, Inspector. Okay, Wiggins, okay. What is it you want to know? But remember, if you uncover anything, you bring it to me. Of course, Inspector. First, there is the mysterious death in the southeast. Nothing mysterious about it. We have the culprits in custody at Old Bailey. The victim's body was taken to Bart's. What about the murder of the Lions? Those damn Lions. Got me up at 5 o'clock this morning. You'd think they were the Queen's bloody pets for all the commotion they caused. In any case, we found a wagon with 2 lions shot a number of times, one lion on top of the other. There were also footprints in the damp grass that indicate 2 people had been on the scene, one with boots and one barefooted. The one with boots entered on the wagon. The barefooted man entered the park on foot from the north and exited out the south ride. The empty wagon was driven to the central carriage stables, largely so the horses could be cared for. That's all there is to tell. So you have no motive for the murders? No. Where were the lions taken? You've got to be kidding. I have no idea where those lions were sent. I have better things to do with my time. Good day. Okay, so this actually was kind of useful. We found a wagon with 2 lions shot a number of times, one lion on top of the other. That's kind of interesting. There were also footprints in the damp grass that indicated 2 people had been on the scene, one with boots and one barefooted. The one with boots entered on the wagon. The barefooted man entered the park on foot from the north and exited out the south ride. Okay, so Hyde Park is... Hold on. Northwest, 95. Okay, so, yeah, Hyde Park is here. So, if it's Mabuto coming from the north... Where's St. Thomas? Is that 29? No. St. Thomas. Which number is that? 29 southeast. Okay, so that's all the way over here. So that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. Where was the 14 Northwest was... No, that wasn't... Hold on. Yes, 14 Northwest was where Mary O'Neill is staying. Which is... I know you guys can't see. What? 14 Northwest is apparently the Bagatelle Card Club. That's strange. But that's also apparently where the O'Neills live. So I guess that wouldn't really make much sense tangentially because that'd be more the eastern side of Hyde Park. So I don't know if directions really mean much. Probably. But let's go back. Okay, the empty wagon was driven to the central carriage stables. I think we want to check out the carriage itself. So, Central Carriage Stables. 5WC. We're going there right now. As we just fill up our locations. The dispatcher at the Central Carriage Stables directs us to the wagon. It is in actuality a large cage on wheels. The wood facade that surrounds it is painted in shades of green to suggest jungle flora. The cage door is wide open, the large padlock sprung and dangling in the ring bolt. We notice smears of dried blood on the stairs fastened to the bed under the back door. We climb into the cage and see more blood staining the floor. In one corner lay what appear to be two large leather collars. Attached to each end is a leather pouch. Both are ripped open and empty. Shit. Okay, we're not putting some pieces together that we probably could be. And really, the issue is still motive. Why would... Okay, let's think about our key characters in this, alright? We have Slade Wilson. I don't know why he would want to get rid of, you know, the lions or get rid of Barry. As that's like his main attraction. Unless there's some personal thing that I haven't discovered yet. But it doesn't seem like it. We have Barry himself. Say, you know, his injury seems legitimate, but we have no way of knowing that. But why would he want to kill his own lions? He seems like the kind of guy that would care about them, but he didn't seem to care too much, did he? He didn't seem to be too distressed about the whole lion being dead situation. So that doesn't answer motive in any capacity. Look, I've told you, I don't know anything. Now, if you're not from the police, get out and leave me alone. And then he yells at something to Mabuto. I don't know anything about it. I don't even know where they are. Okay, so why would Barry want to kill off his lions? Maybe there's still something about the whole Ireland thing, but this guy doesn't seem like he has a lot of national pride. Maybe it's more than that. It's only 2 lions. There's 8 of them. That's the show. Is 8 lions, 2 are dead. They were killed in a very public place and left there as like a public thing. Now, from my understanding of watching criminal shows, whenever a murder is done in public, it's generally for a reason, you know. Like, they want people to see that. They want it to be known. If people just wanted 2 lions dead, or, you know, no, okay. If somebody related to the circus, you know, this Barry, Slade Wilson, his mom, whatever, all the lions would be dead. No, this was done as, like, symbolism. I'm pretty sure. This was done in the open, 2 lions laid on top of each other. Has to be related to this whole Ireland thing. That's what I'm going off of right now. So we're going to try to investigate some of this Irish bullshit. The Durkin guy was just, you know, a pencil pusher. But there was another guy. There was another mention. There's like huge article here. This Gladstone guy. But really, if it's not for Durkin, there's really not a whole lot of symbolism going on. He's the only one that's mentioned lions. And I guess we cleared his name, but did we really? I don't know. Alright, we'll check out this Gladstone guy. Who's apparently... Hold on, let me look this up. William Gladstone, yes. I think that's his name. William E. Gladstone. So, 43 Southeast. Okay. I guess. Nope, that's not in the book. Never mind. So, hold on. Then it says 7 James Street Southwest. Which I could probably just look up. Seven James Street Southwest. So I'm just going to 7 Southwest. Is that what I'm looking for? 7 is the Carlton Club. And it's also not in the book, as I'm looking at right there. So that's not anything. James Street. But even if I find James Street, what the hell does that even do for me? I don't think looking for streets is ever the right answer, because it's confusing as hell and it never leads to anything. So probably not. There's St. James Square. There's St. James Street. St. James Palace. This guy probably has nothing to do with anything, to be honest. It's just it's like the longest article I've ever read in here. And it's all about this whole home rule. It says he's the Dean of Winchester. I don't know if that means anything. Maybe. But if his home isn't in here, why would anything else be in here? I feel like we're getting way off the beaten path. This isn't going to lead to anything. Okay, so that's not the end of the whole Ireland thing, though, because there's also where the meeting was held. Kendall. St. George's Hall. St. George's Hall. Jeez. St. George's Church, St. George's Bath, St. George's Hospital. There's a St. James Hall. No George's Hall. Shit. Okay, so we're at that point now. Oh, hold on. Tonight, Mallory Keenan speaks on home rule at the Irish Social Club. Public welcome, 8 p.m., 8 Lant Street, Southeast. Irish Social Club. If we're going to find out anything, that's where it's going to be. Hold up. Irish Social Club, 8 Southeast. That's where we're going. All right. 8 Southeast. We arrive at the Irish Social Club just as the principal speaker, Mallory Keenan, comes to a rousing conclusion. He holds aloft the August 17th Times and proclaims, "We will strike until the roar of the English lion is silenced in our homeland forever. Ireland for the Irish." A tremendous cheer goes up and reverberates around the hall, making the 100 or so people gathered there sound like 20 times that number. With a rush, the enthusiastic group makes for the podium to surround and congratulate the speaker. They are so carried away that Mr. Keenan is forced to make for the exit to save life and limb. He has worked them up to a feverish pitch and is in danger of being buried himself. He manages to escape the crowd and our questions. Okay. Shit. Well, that's interesting. We will strike until the roar of the English line is silenced in our homeland forever. I mean, if these guys, like, aren't responsible, they're doing a really shitty job of not appearing connected at all. Like, jeez. That's a hell of a coincidence, man. There's also a... There's a little thing in here about a taxidermist. That sounds like a red herring, though. Is Mallory Keenan's address in here? That might be something we could check out. Yep, it is. We'll check it out. 31... I lost it. Oh, 31 WC. Let's see if he's there. Mr. Keenan's landlord is a bulldog of a man, feisty and irascible. He's out, probably up to some skullduggery, but he pays the rent on time, and after all, he says sagely, a man's politics is a man's politics. Was he home last evening? I don't pry into other people's business, but Mr. Keenan was out, probably at Sir Galahad on Change Street. Oh, we're going down the rabbit hole that'll probably lead to nothing. Okay, Sir Galahad, what the hell is that? A bar? Sir Galahad's Pub, 27 EC. His local haunt. Maybe we can find out something there. Keenan meets with his cronies here every Thursday night, says the barman at the Sir Galahad. So he was here last night. Until about midnight. He left through the back way into the alley. Very peculiar. He and his friends got into the wagon and left in the directions of Cannon Street. What kind of wagon was it? Oh, an ordinary wagon. The kind that carries gravel or grain or lumber or whatnot. In this case, they were carrying paint. Paint? Well, the driver warned Mr. Keenan and his friends to mind the cans of paint as they clambered up over the sides. Do you know where they were going? Mr. Keenan made some joke about Waterloo Station and the Queen. I really don't know. Waterloo Station. Paint. We know that the wagon that they found the lions in was painted to look like jungle flora. That could have been just misdirection. As in they just took that wagon and they painted it to look like it was from the circus. What's interesting is nobody knows where the lion bodies went. It's kind of surprising. But okay, Waterloo Station is our best bet. Otherwise, the taxidermist is going to come into play at some point. Waterloo Station, 37 Southeast. So we walk along York Road besides Waterloo Station. A workman cautions us to mind our heads. Above, other workmen stand on scaffolding, painting the wall of the station building. Bit of mischief, you might say, explains the first workman. Some Irish ruffian painted some disrespectful slogans. Ireland for the Irish, down with the Empire and the like. Her Majesty the Queen will be driving past here in 2 hours. It was for a benefit, no doubt. We'll have it all covered over that by the time. If you ask me, we ought to cover over them bloody bastards what done it. Covering them over with 6 feet of earth after they hang them. When was it done? Sometime in the middle of the night. Must have took them the better part of it, too, as no one saw it till morning. Damn. Alright. That was a dead end. So then it's taxidermist. Bilbo Underhill. I swear to God, taxidermist's name is Bilbo Underhill. If that's not a fake name, oh my God. I've never heard a faker name before in my life. Underhill. There aren't many U's. Bilbo Underhill, 48 SW. Okay. We enter Bilbo Underhill's taxidermy shop and duck under the stuffed pink flamingo, which appears quite incongruous and awkward, hanging from the raft of this cluttered London shop. Wherever we turn, we run into lifelike animals staring at us. Cats, dogs, birds, an alligator, a duck-billed platypus. Yes, may I help you? We jump as a short, round-faced, balding man with spectacles suddenly comes to life. Mr. Underhill? Yes, I am Bilbo Underhill. Would you like to have something stuffed? Oh, man. That's going to be a D&D character at some point. Would you like to have something stuffed? Well, actually, we're trying to find a couple of lions which were killed in Hyde Park last night. We thought they might be here. So they are. So they are. My good friend, old Sherman, told me about them, and I thought they were quite fine specimens. Would you like to see them? Yes, we would. We discovered the lions have been shot several times in the head and chest with medium-caliber bullets. After looking them over for many minutes, we are amazed at how little we know about dead lions that might give us a clue about these. Thank you, Mr. Underhill. We'll be in touch, perhaps. Old Sherman. Who the hell is Old Sherman? That's not going to be in here. No, of course not. And there's probably a bunch of Shermans, even though it sounds like a first name. Actually, there's only one Sherman. There's an Elton Sherman. I'm going to see if it's in the book, otherwise it doesn't matter. That's 6EC. I think. God, why do I always lose it? Sherman, yeah, 6EC. Yeah, it's not in the book, so that's not it. Okay. That doesn't really help us either. We don't know anything about dead lions. So, we really have nothing to go off of, to be honest. Mabuto is a suspect, but we can't pin anything on him because how could we? How freaking could we? His mom is a suspect, but again, we don't know anything. We could go to the coroner, but why would he inspect lion bodies? I think we got to go to Porky Shinwell. He knows everything that's going on in the underworld. 52 EC. Lions? What kind of a daft bloke would kill two poor innocent lions? No, I haven't heard a peep about it. Lions? You sure you got the right story, mates? Perhaps a pint or two will straighten you out. Okay, that was another negative 5 points. We could go see Mycroft. We've never done that. Or we could go see the London librarian. Encyclopedic research. Maybe we can find out stuff about lions. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm running out of ideas. We're getting to that point again. 5SW. As always, Lomax answers our questions without having to check his books. The Home Rule is a law project which could give a degree of autonomy to Ireland, all while keeping it under British guardianship. In 1875, during his election to the House of Commons, Charles Stewart Parnell made it a priority project supported by the liberal British government against the conservative English parties and the Unionists of Ulster. Lions are not only native to Africa, but also to parts of Persia, Mesopotamia, and India. The image of the lion is used to symbolize the power of Britain. Yes. Okay, I still want to link it to the whole Ireland thing, but that seemed like it really dried up real quick with the whole, whatever the hell his name was. Keenan. The image of the lion is used to symbolize the power of Britain. So again, I have to go back to the whole concept of it. It has to be like a symbolism thing, right? It can't just be his mom killed off 2 lions. And again, we're sticking to the idea that Mabuto is the barefooted suspect. So then, okay, Mabuto helped kill the lions, even though he's afraid of them. Who's the booted man? And Mabuto apparently only seems to understand Swahili or whatever, you know? The only one that speaks Swahili that we've encountered is Barry. So if someone were to command, the only way Mabuto can be involved is if Barry is there as well. Barry seems to be just completely out of everything. Ah, shit. I have no idea. I honestly have no idea. I can sit here all day trying to piece it together, but it doesn't do anything for us. This is where you just need somebody to bounce ideas off of, man. I don't have that. I have a camera just looking at me, and it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything! Look through this again. We did the taxidermist. We did that. I don't know. Mabuto is like the center of everything. Or is he? Why else would somebody be barefoot? Why that is like a key thing, the whole barefoot thing. But why would anybody be barefoot except it's either they're commonly like that, of which we've only encountered Mabuto, because who else would be commonly barefoot? Or they decided to go barefoot just for that, you know, criminal activity. But then why would they let the other person be booted? That doesn't make any sense. Or they wanted to set up Mabuto, but who? That's going way too far. That can't even be. That can't even enter our thought process. So it has to be Mabuto. But just because we know that or we believe that, that doesn't prove anything. Nor do we have a likely way to prove anything. How do we pin stuff on Mabuto? Like, there's nothing that... There's only 2 things that link us to Mabuto. There's Roy Slade. And there's Barry. So maybe we should go to the London docks. Like, maybe we need to centralize this a little bit more. Get back to whole Barry being injured. Mabuto's maybe there. Let's go to the London docks. 94E. Where the hell is that? I can't go there. E is not anything. Or is it? Maybe it is. E. I don't know if there was an E section in this book. There isn't. There isn't an E section, so I guess I can't go to the docks. Okay, so can't go to the docks. We went to the circus. We went to the O'Neills. Does Roy Slade have a residence? I think we only went to the circus. We didn't go to his home. Not that that would do anything. Slade Wilson. Skinner. No. He doesn't have a London address. Okay, so that's out. Mabuto doesn't have a London address. That'd be ridiculous. So there has to be like a clue. There has to be a clue that I've read that I didn't interpret right and haven't. I didn't. Rudges. That's the only other thing. That's the only other name that we didn't account for is Rudges, which is where Barry's father works. Rudge and Singer? It's the only Rudge. 21 Southeast. We'll look to see if it's there. It is. Alright. It is. Maybe that's something. Rudge and Singer Carriage and Harness Manufacturers is located in a large brick building. The door to the manager's office is open. Wiggins pokes his head in and asks the man inside if he could point out Carol O'Neill. Yes, he's a small chap over there working on the growler, the one with the red hair. Any trouble? No trouble. Has he worked here long? 15 years. Good worker for a hot-headed Irishman. Hey, O'Neill, some bloke's here to see you. O'Neill puts his tool down, looks at us for a moment, and slowly walks towards us. What you need? We want to ask you some questions about your son. I know he'd bring no good with him. That's why I told him to stay away from the house last night. His mom don't need all that heartbreak again. You're police, I take it. Well, I don't know nothing about what he'd be up to. We're not from the police. We're just trying to find out about the murder of your son's lions. Oh, you're here about Barry. I thought it was Tommy that bring you. Barry's a good boy. A little wild, but he'll settle down in time. Damnedest thing about them lions of his. Crazy kid getting in a cage with them big cats. Gotta be an easier way to make a living. More exciting than making these bloody buggies for the swells, though. Each to his own. Better than stealing like his brother. Between me and you, I'm glad these bloody cats are dead. Wow. Way to incriminate yourself, sir. Why's that? O'Neill lowers his voice and moves his head closer to us. Maybe now he'll worry more about the bloody British lion keeping the Irish under its paw. I know his ma ain't Irish, but my God, he's half Irish. That's good enough. Here, read this. I gotta get back to work. O'Neill shoves a folded sheet of paper into our hands and then hurries back to his work. Wiggins unfolds the paper and shows us a flyer announcing a meeting of the Irish Nationalist League on Irish Home Rule scheduled for that night at the Irish Social Club at 8 Lance Street. At the top of the flyer is a drawing showing the British lion hanging from the gallows with the body in its bloody paws labeled Irish Freedom. Jesus Christ. Is it all a red herring or is it... Ah! Tommy. That's our first mention of Tommy O'Neill, which I feel like at this point means nothing. The fact that he makes carriages That's interesting, but again, we have no way to connect any of the dots. We already went to that freaking meeting. That didn't lead us anywhere. That was that. Like, that seems to be the culmination of the whole Irish thing, right? Is that Mallory Keenan, which we followed that road all the way down, and it was just a red herring. So, really, we didn't gain anything other than his father is, like, not good. You're police, I take it. Well, I don't know nothing about what he'd be up to. But he was talking about Tommy. So I don't know. I don't know. That just seems to lead you more down the Irish red herring bullshit. How do we tie it back to the circus? If that's even what we need to tie it back to. That could be unrelated as well. Maybe it is about the Irish thing, but we have no way of bringing that together. Just reading over the interaction we had with O'Neill himself. Like, yeah, I mean, Mabuto just seems like a real dick. He was like about to blow dart us. His hand reaches for a wooden tube tucked into his belt. His body ready to spring. He was about to murder us. We still... Again, it's motive. Like, motive just doesn't make sense. Why would Mabuto help anyone kill those lions? Like, yeah, he's afraid of them, but he seems to like Barry a lot. Yeah. What else is there? Like, what do we not have? I guess let's go talk to Mycroft, because we've never done it. Because we've never done it. At the Diogenes Club, we are informed that Mycroft Holmes is not there and is busy doing some work for the government. Fuck that, I'm erasing that one. That one didn't count as bullshit. What was the other one? Okay, Quentin Hogg. Police Gazette, source of information on criminal affairs. But no, it's not a criminal affair. This is not like a serial lion killer. Like, this is not anything related to any organized effort. This is an isolated incident. So maybe the Society columnist, 2SW. That's not even in the book, so that doesn't do anything. So nothing about the Society. Let's look over the categories of buildings. Maybe something will spark my interest. A boarding house, booksellers, carpets, charities, chemists, churches, cocoa manufacturers. There's the coroner's office, which we could check out. I guess, you know, what else do we have? If he looked at the bodies, maybe he can tell us something as just a general medical practitioner, but, you know, it's hard to say. 38 EC. At Bart's, Sir Jasper Meeks receives us in his office. Yes, I heard about the lions, of course, but they would hardly be sent here. Most likely they would be sent... Where would they be sent? I have no idea. What about the man who was found dead near St. George's Road? Oh, yes, he was brought here. Stephen Dirk was his name. Newspaper mentioned the cause of his death as drugs of some sort. Yes, that is correct, or at least that is what I believe. Do you know what drug? No, it affected the... Okay, so nothing about the lions. Shit! Nobody knows where they were sent, but we know where they were sent. They were sent to the taxidermist, who doesn't seem to have any malicious intent. They are just there, and they were shot multiple times with bullets, and that's about it. Detective agencies, doctors, embassies. Is there a veterinarian? No, why would that wouldn't do anything. Embassies, furriers, government offices, guides, gunsmiths, hospitals, hotels, inns, insurance companies, jewelers, libraries, map sellers, music halls, newspapers, parks, pawnbrokers, police stations, post offices, printers, public houses, restaurants, settlement houses, shoemakers, solicitors, Somerset House, public houses, stables, stationers, stations, steamship companies, synagogues, tailors, tea merchants, tea rooms, theaters, tobacconists, watchmakers, wine merchants. I think I'm at a dead end. I have no idea how to tie anything to Mabudo. These cases are freaking tough, man. I have yet to do one, like, even semi-okay. I'm, like, this game just makes you feel like a moron. Which most games do, but this game more than anything. So we're going to skip ahead to the questions. Who murdered the lions? I'm putting Mabudo and Roy Slade. Why? Damn good question, isn't it? Actually, hold on. I don't know if looking at the questions is cheating, but it says, how was Thomas O'Neill involved in the case? And now I'm really freaking curious. So now I want to look at criminal records. So we're going to go to the archivist. 14WC. I don't know if that's cheating, but I don't really care. We are informed by Disraeli O'Brien that Thomas O'Neill was a suspect in several jewel robberies, but had never been convicted of any of the crimes. Okay. How do I find Thomas O'Neill then? How do I find Thomas O'Neill? Do I just check every bar? Is that cheating? Why would you just be hanging around at bars? Pawnbrokers? But do we check every pawnbroker? Maybe now we go to the journalist at the Police Gazette? Well, sure. 35 EC. We made through the sea of papers that surrounded Quentin Hogg's desk. Wiggins slips and falls into a stack of newspapers, which falls on top of him and nearly bury him. Hogg stops laughing long enough to say, I'd throw you a life preserver, except I feel like I'm drowning myself. Wiggins, after resurfacing, dusts himself off in an effort to preserve some dignity. What do you mean by that, sir? Wiggins asked, settling into a chair. Well, I'm reviewing the facts surrounding several jewel robberies both here and on the continent, and although the cases are similar in several aspects, I'm unable to name even one suspect. I'm baffled as to how the thief or thieves have managed to escape detection. But what brings you here? Wiggins shifts uncomfortably in his seat. We're not exactly sure. Holmes told us to check today's Times to find some item of interest, but we're not sure to what he was referring. My friend here thinks it was the murder of lions in Hyde Park, but I think it to be the mysterious death in Southwark. I wish I could help you, but I haven't kept up with the latest since I got mixed up in this jewelry business. Good luck then, says Wiggins as we all daintily step out of the office. Okay, jewelers. I'm baffled as to how the thief or thieves have managed to escape detection. What if Thomas O'Neill was also working with Mabudo? How do we link that? Okay. Do we check every jeweler? Is that cheating if I just go down the list of jewelers and see if it's in the book? And then we go to the one that's in there? I'm going to say, screw you. That's what I'm going to say. So, yes. Well, I'm going to say it's not cheating, and we're going to do it. 36 Southeast. Not in the book. 33 WC. Not in the book. 34 Southwest. Not in the book. 90 Northwest. It's not a long book, by the way. There's not many locations. We've been to most of them. 90 Northwest. Not in the book. 17 Northwest. Not in the book. 88 Southwest. Not in the book. 75 WC, not in the book. 44 EC. 44 EC is in the book. At R.S. Garrard and Company, Virgil Leggins tells us what he remembers about the jewelry theft from last March. He seems used to telling his story. It happened in the middle of the afternoon. The day was quiet when suddenly smoke came out of the stairway leading to the office, he says as he points at a stairway between two glass cases. Smoke quickly filled the whole store. Hold on, I'm writing down the location. The fire alarm was given, and everyone, including myself, left quickly. Of course, in this case, there was absolutely no fire. Someone who was well-dressed and wearing a travel bag had thrown a smoke bomb onto the steps. The entire contents of a glass case was stolen. Smoke bomb. Well-dressed with smoke bombs? That's kind of crazy. What did we stumble on here? And finally, the last jeweler's 40 Northwest, but I doubt it's going to be there. I'm correct. Okay, so then maybe hit up pawnbrokers. 26. No, that's 20. No, 73 EC. No. Okay, that's it. All right. That doesn't really answer any questions. Well-dressed and wearing a travel bag had thrown a smoke bomb onto the steps. I guess Old Bailey, maybe, but no, nobody has ever been caught for this, which is the crazy part. I don't think any of these key locations are of any more use. Newspapers aren't... Actually, although I'm curious, because apparently it was mentioned in March. So let me see. Board, parliamentary, art... miscellaneous. I'm looking for crimes, man. Burglaries. No. Arms trade. I remember when this was relevant. Cholera. There's actually some more about Irish leaders and stuff in there, but okay. R.S. Garrard and Company Jewelers was the scene of a daring theft yesterday afternoon. The burglar apparently threw a smoke bomb from the floor of the store onto stairs leading up to the offices above. As store employees raced to fight the fire, the thief looted a display case of jewels valued in thousands of pounds. Scotland Yard's chief suspect in the crime is Thomas O'Neill, an internationally known jewel thief who was known to have been in London within the last several days. However, the police report no success in their attempts to apprehend O'Neill. Garrard's is offering a reward of £500 for information leading to the capture of the perpetrator of this crime and the restoration of stolen jewels. Here's another one. DeVry's... Here, hold on. DeVry's diamonds never found. This month marks the first anniversary of the daring DeVry's diamond theft. Nat Cook, who was convicted of the crime and is now serving a sentence in Millbank Prison, persists in his claim of innocence. The manager of DeVry's testified that 2 men committed the robbery and 2 men were tried, but only Cook was convicted. Jonathan, the smallest co-defendant, was acquitted. Okay, so maybe it's all related. That would be insane. DeVry's, I think that's a jeweler, so I don't think they're in the book. Yes, I went through all of that. But maybe I can go to the prison, Millbank Prison. Millbank Prison, 23 Southwest. I don't know what we're got onto now, but we're gonna check it out. No, it's not. 23 Southwest isn't it? So maybe that's completely irrelevant. But that would be crazy if that was in it. Or Jonathan Small, maybe. I don't know. We're going really far out on a stretch. I don't think we're any closer to doing anything. Small. 15 Southeast. Nope. Nothing. Alright, then I'm probably at a loss, although, I mean, I could just keep scanning through newspapers, but what are the odds I'm going to find anything? Just looking for any jewels or anything like that. Like, you gotta look through all these old freaking newspapers. New Guinea, nothing really of anything. No, not really. I mean, he's certainly... Thomas O'Neill certainly could have been responsible for that DeVry's diamond thing. Maybe Mabuto's been doing that the whole time. But again, it's like, how do we prove that at all? How can we do anything close to proving that? How can we even find Thomas O'Neill? Like, nobody can find this guy. How are we going to stumble upon him? We talked to his dad, we talked to the mom, we talked to the wife, we talked to Barry. What's left? We've been to, you know, Porky Shinwell. He didn't tell us anything about criminals. I'm at the end of the road. I don't think there's anything else without just, you know, looking through the book and just looking for any, you know, names, which is, that's really cheating. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I don't know. I never end one of these cases feeling accomplished. And that really sucks. Alright, so let's wrap it up then. So why did they kill the lions? Symbolism for Irish freedom. Why would I put Roy in there? I have no idea. Don't put Roy in there. Put the dad. I don't know. How is Barry O'Neill involved in the case? I didn't know he was involved in the case at all, to be honest. I'm going to say he was coerced. How was Thomas O'Neill involved in the case? Stole shit. Where were the bodies of the dead lions taken? Oh, the taxidermist. I know that one. Who observed the murder of the lion? See, like, there's always just like, what? I don't know. I'm going to put the mom. Or no, the wife. Whatever the wife's name. Wife. I'm going to put that. What was the identity of the mysterious body? Stephen Dirk. We found that out. Okay. My camera actually ran out of space because this video has been going on forever. But we're about to wrap it up, so let's just do it. So what was the identity of the mysterious body? Stephen Dirk. Who was responsible for the slogans painted on Waterloo Station? Keenan Mallory, I think his name. It's close to that at the very least. Maybe we can still get some points on this bullshit part. I assume you got my note. Holmes greets us as we enter his rooms. Help yourself to some tea. You know how much I rely on the newspapers for information and amusement, and today's Times is no exception. It was the murder of 2 lions that caught my interest. A simple little problem, but I thought it might amuse you. You must admit that the discovery of 2 lions, dead or alive, in Hyde Park is worth investigating. We should start by asking ourselves some basic questions. I started with the following questions. 1. Where did the lions come from? 2. Why were they murdered? 3. Why were they murdered in Hyde Park? And 4. Who murdered them? First, it was not difficult to discover where the lions had come from. We are not dealing with a common household pet. I can think of only 2 places where the lions might have come from. The zoo, or Roy Slade's Wild African Extravaganza, which arrived in London yesterday. I chose the latter for a number of reasons, the main one being the coincidence of the murders happening on the same day as the arrival of the show. Did you check out Roy Slade at Hengler's, Wiggins? Yes, that's where the lions came from. They were in their barred and locked travel wagon when it disappeared. Next question, why were they murdered? We'll pass for a moment and look at why were they murdered in Hyde Park. If all the murderers desired was the death of the lions, why go to all the trouble of stealing the wagon, driving it across town to Hyde Park, breaking open the lock, and killing the lions there? A possible reason that comes quickly into mind is that Hyde Park at 2 in the morning is a rather secluded spot. At this point, I was sent a telegram to Lestrade asking if the wagon that carried the lions had been found. It had, in Archbishop's Park. So what do we have? The lions were stolen from Hengler's, taken to a secluded spot, and killed. The killer drove the wagon to South London and abandoned it. Those are the facts, but not the why. Again, a clue as to the whys was to be found in the newspaper. This was the story of the wild animal trainer who was injured at the docks. His name was Barry O'Neill. O'Neill is a name familiar to me, as it should be to you if you read the papers. You remember Thomas O'Neill, the jewel thief. I sent another telegram, this one to Somerset House, Birth Records Department. The reply confirmed that Barry and Thomas are brothers. With this fact, I had enough data to form a working hypothesis. Fact, 6 months ago, Thomas O'Neill, a jewel thief, escaped a London police search and was reported on the continent. Fact, 6 weeks ago, the jewels of the Duchess of Oldenburg were stolen. Fact, the police of Oldenburg and its neighboring states closed their borders and began an intensive search for the jewels. Fact, Thomas O'Neill was detained by the Oldenburg authorities, but no evidence could be found to hold him. Fact, Roy Slade's Wild African Extravaganza just finished a 6-week run in Wilhelmshaven. Fact, Barry O'Neill, brother of Thomas, is the lion tamer of the troupe. Fact, Barry O'Neill was injured while unloading the show at the London docks and is currently hospitalized. Fact, 2 lions from the circus were stolen and killed. These are the facts. What is the hypothesis? Wiggins. Well, begins Wiggins, I think Thomas O'Neill is part of, most likely, the leader of the gang that stole the Duchess's jewels. Knowing the security measures that the authorities would take, Thomas gave the jewels to his brother, Barry. Barry hid the jewels around the neck of the lions, in the pouches we found in the abandoned circus wagon. It would take a most conscientious customs official to perform a body search on a lion. Then Barry was accidentally injured and put into a hospital for 4 weeks. Thomas couldn't wait or take any chances. Wild African Show would have finished its 3-week London engagement and gone to France before Barry was released. Thomas stole the lions, took them to Hyde Park, and killed them. He removed the pouches and escaped with the stolen jewels. Excellent, Wiggins, excellent. Elementary, Mr. Holmes, elementary. No, it's not, man! It's really not. He solved the case in 5 leads. He went to Scotland Yard first, then Somerset House, then, by 5 leads, they count the 2 locations he went to and the 3 newspaper articles he used. His score is 100 points. Part 1, who murdered the lions? Okay, I was wrong. It's Thomas O'Neill. This doesn't make any sense. Why? To retrieve the Oldenburg jewels that were hidden around their neck. Okay. How was Barry O'Neill involved in the case? He placed the jewels around his lion's neck to get them out of Oldenburg. Okay. How was Thomas O'Neill? Okay. He stole them and passed them on to Barry. I put he stole shit. I get it right. Screw you. Screw you. 25 points for me. Ah. Where were the bodies of the dead lions taken? Bilbo Underhill. Taxidermist. Yes, 10 points. Yes. Who observed the murder of the lions? Mabudo. Okay, I didn't get that. What was the identity of the mysterious body? Stephen Dirk. Yes, 10 points. Who was responsible for the slogans painted on Waterloo Station? Mallory Keenan. Okay, I put it backwards. Whatever. 10 points. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay, I definitely went to Scotland Yard, so that's that. So I get that for free. Then 5 points for each extra lead. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 105. Plus 30 is 75. So, okay, I got negative 50 points. Boom! Whoa! If you followed fewer leads than Holmes, add 5 to your score for each lead fewer. Oh, so if you went nowhere, you're just like, oh, I got it. Boom, done. Oh, God. This game. Oh, my God. Like, I might have to skip doing a case on camera. Like, I might have to just play this with, like, friends or family and not record it. Just, you know, somewhere else, just play through a case with them and just do it. So I might have to skip a case, but I might do a video just talking about it or something like that. But yeah, like just going alone on my, like I honestly, I think I'm getting worse. You guys probably know better than I what my score totals have been every time. But the first case, I felt like I did all right. But I think ever since then, it's just been downhill upon downhill. But really, like, it's so tough. How are you supposed to piece all that together? Like, you know, if you score perfectly on all these cases, you should not be sitting at home playing Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. You should be out there solving crimes. This is ridiculous. Alright, well, this video has been long enough. I've been talking for long enough, and my brain hurts a whole hell of a lot. So, my name is Mang. This has been Bored Manging for Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. That wraps up Case 4, The Lionized Lions. I'll see you fine folks around.